move to our next one, force. That is pressure. Next, after force, we are going to learn about pressure. In 7th standard, we have learned the cyclone, about cyclone and storms. Cyclone is caused due to difference in pressure, isn't it? Pressure. What is the relation between force and pressure? So let's learn now about pressure. The force acting on a unit area of a surface is called pressure. This force applied on the surface is perpendicular to the surface. So it is also known as, when the force acting on the surface, if it acts perpendicular to the surface, it is called as a thrust. So at present, you learn only the definition of pressure, that is the force acting on a surface area is called a pressure. That is, pressure is equal to force upon area. Here the denominator, you can see area is there. So if the denominator, if the area, if keep decreasing, then the resultant, as we have learnt in mathematics, that divisor, the value of the divisor, if it decreases, then the result quotient will be more. And if the value of the divisor, if it is more, then the quotient will be less. The same you can apply here. The surface area, if it is larger, then the pressure what we get will be less. If the surface area, if it is lesser, then the pressure what we get will be more. So the force, whatever the force applied on the surface area, that pressure what we get will depend upon the force applied on the surface area. So we can tell pressure depends mainly on two factors. That is, if you apply more force, you will get more pressure, and it depends upon the surface area. Greater the surface area, then we'll get lesser pressure. Lesser the surface area, we get more pressure. If you come to unit of pressure, pressure of unit is Pascal. That is, it can be shortly denoted by PA. That is, we know that unit of force is Newton, unit of force is meter square. So unit of pressure, that is Pascal, is equal to Newton per meter square. Now we will be learning about how we use pressure in our daily life. For example, we can see that buildings which have very wider foundation, because the force applied, if the force is applied on the area, that foundation, if it is more, then the pressure exerted will be very less. So building can withstand for a longer time. And the same, if you can take what we use, shoes, that the shoes, if it has a flat heel, if you see the heel, surface of the heel is very flat, means the area is more. If the area is more, then the force applied on the area, more area, then the pressure will be very less. So we can comfortably walk with the wider heel of shoes. At the same time, if you take a very sharp heel shoes, where the tip of the heel is the area will be very less. So the force applied on the lesser area will create more pressure. So it is very difficult to walk with the sharp heel. Now coming to our next example, school bags. It has always, school bags have wider straps. So the weight of the bag will fall over a large area of the shoulder, so that it produces less pressure on shoulder. That is, a school bag has wide straps, so that the weight of the bag may fall over a large area of the shoulder of the child, which create a less pressure on the shoulders, and due to less pressure, it's very quite comfortable to carry the heavy school bag. So that is the reason why all school bags have wider straps. Now, if you take one more example, when you hammer a nail on the wooden plank or nail on a wall, what do? We keep a sharp edge of the nail on the wall or on the wooden plank, and we hammer it on the flat surface, that is head of the nail, which is very flat. So when you apply hammering, applying a force on the head of the nail, the force will be fallen on the tip of the nail, which is very sharp. That is, the area of the nail is very less. As a result, as we have learned just now, if the area is small, the pressure exerted will be more, so that it will be easily hammered in the wooden plank or wooden nail. So here always this nail, pin, knife and all, they have a very sharp edges. Sharp edges, it has a lesser area. So whenever force is applied on a lesser area, the pressure exerted will be more. So the work done will be quicker, or will be done very easily. Now if you see that next picture, that is porter carrying heavy load. And have you seen when the porter carries, before keeping load on his head, what he does, he roll a cloth in a wider manner, and first he kept that cloth which is rolled wider, and then on the cloth he used to keep the heavy load on his head. Why? Because the rolling of cloth in a wider manner, it creates a surface area larger. So whenever he keeps a large heavy load on his head, heavy load, it exerts force. If the force exerted on a larger area of a cloth, it will be widely spread. So the pressure will be fall on his head will be very less. So comfortably he can carry loads. So that is the reason why porter carries, before carrying load, he keeps a cloth rolled down in a wider manner. Now next example we'll see about knife, what we use for cutting vegetables. So if you take a knife which is sharp, we can, when apply a force, very less force, you can easily cut vegetables. Why? Because sharp knife, it exerts larger pressure on the surface. That is, surface area is sharp edge, means area is very less, small. So that it exerts larger pressure. Because of that, vegetables can be cut easily. On the other hand, if you take a blunt knife, or the knife, the other side of the knife, if you try to cut the vegetable, which has a very flat surface, means the area of a flat surface area is more, larger. So the force fallen on that larger area, it exerts smaller pressure, so we cannot cut vegetables. So from this we can understand pressure exerted, it depends on the force and area. Force, that is, what is pressure? Force acting on an unit area is called as pressure. Now, do liquid also exert pressure? Yes, this we will be learning by a small activity. You have to take a transparent pipe which is made of glass tube, or you can take plastic pipe, and one end of the pipe you can you attach good quality of rubber. Take a piece of bursted balloon, and that rubber you attach at one end of the transparent pipe, and we have to hold the pipe at the center and ask your friend to fill the pipe with water. Now after filling it, what you can see the second picture, what you can see, the balloon bulges out. Now we have to pour more water on the transparent pipe. And if you pour more water, you can see balloon bulges out more. That is the quantity of water, that liquid. If it is more, it exerts more pressure. Because of that, the balloon get bulges more. So from this, we can understand liquids also exerts pressure. Now, if you see that, do liquid exerts pressure on the wall of the surface of the container? Yes, for that, we will see this activity. You have to take a water bottle and take one plastic pipe or straw and make a hole by heating a rod, and you just insert it on a plastic bottle near the bottom, not exactly at the bottom, near the bottom of the bottle, and make a hole and insert that plastic straw inside the bottle. And please take care that the hole is, the plastic straw should be exactly fill in the hole which we made on the bottle. Otherwise, what we have to do is fill the hole. If any space is there, you seal it with a wax, molten wax. And now the other end of the plastic straw, you attach a rubber balloon. Now what we have to do is just fill a bottle with water, and after filling it up, what we can see is the balloon which is attached at the other end of the straw is, you can see it get bulges out. Why? Because here we are attached the straw on the side of the bottle, not at the bottom, near the bottom but not at the bottom. So here from this we can see why the balloon got bulges out, because liquid exert pressure on the surface of the wall. So from this we understood liquid exerts pressure on the surface of the wall. Now water, liquid also exerts equal pressure in all the direction which are at in the same depth. To prove this, we'll have this activity. Take a water bottle and make a hole near the bottom at the same level of the bottle, and now fill the bottle with water. Here you can see that water, the flow of water will be equal in all the direction. So from this we can understand that water exerts pressure in all the direction in same depth. And now coming to next one, where liquid exert pressure, that pressure of the liquid increases with depth. So this we can understand clearly by this activity. Take a water bottle, make a hole at different level, one at the bottom, one at the bottom of the bottle, near the bottom of the bottle, one at the middle of the bottle, and one at the near the neck of the bottle, and fill this bottle with water. Now what you can see is the water from the bottom of the hole, it comes out with great pressure, more pressure than at the top of the water from the top of the hole. So from this we can understand liquid exert pressure which get increases with increasing depth. Pressure, see, you can see here, pressure increases with depth. So the speed of the water which is leaking from the bottom of the hole, it is larger. See, it covers the larger distance than that from the higher one, that is the top hole. So again, pressure increases with increasing depth. See, the hole at the bottom, the depth is more. So the speed of the water leaking from the bottom hole is larger than that from the top one, higher one. Higher one, the depth is very less, shallow. So it is, the pressure also will be less. So from this we can understand the pressure exerted by the liquid, it increases with the depth. So till now whatever we have learned about liquid exert pressure perpendicular to the base of the container. Liquids exert the pressure on the walls of the container. Liquid pressure, that is pressure exerted by the liquid, it remains the same in all the direction at a given depth. Means at the same depth, if you make a hole, the pressure exerted by a liquid will remain the same, and the liquid pressure or pressure exerted by the liquid increases with increasing depth inside the liquid.